I finally decided to make my life easier, pulled the plug and got myself an air jack. This is Vevor, 11,000 pound or 5-ton air jack. And today we're going to quickly assemble it and run 3 very important tests. First of all, we're going to see how easy it's to move around or carry on. Second, and this is very important test, we're going to see if it will run off my 3-gallon cheap Husky compressor that I got from Home Depot. I hope it will, because if not, I just wasted 185 Canadian dollar for no reason. And for the final test, we're going to lift my truck with that air jack, leave it for 30 minutes to an hour and see if it loses any air. I hope it will pass those 3 tests, because I really need that air jack, especially in the winter when I'm forced to work on my truck and there is snow on the ground. By the way, if you own an air jack and been using one for a while, please leave me a comment down below and let me know your experience. I would love to hear from you. The assembly of air jack is actually quite easy. All we have is to connect 4 10mm bolts and that piece of metal to the handle. Then we have to connect handle to the air jack itself. And finally, we will need to connect the hose to a compression right here. And the handle is done. Now the handle can be assembled in a way that those valves either at the bottom like that or on the top like that. Since I'm going to work outside in the snow and in the rain maybe, I chose to have those valves at the top so there's less chance that they get dirt or snow on them. Let's fix the air line inside and attach the handle to the air jack. We're almost done. We only left 2 things to do, is to attach that line to a compression fitting here, and the last thing we will have to do is to attach fitting for the actual line going from compressor. Now for the fitting that get attached to the air hose, they say nothing about the Teflon, but I'm still gonna put some just in case. And that's it. It's fully assembled. So let's go and test it out. I was reading online that the Vevor air jack is 35 pounds. And it does feel like 35 to 40 pounds. It is easy to pick, and I could definitely see myself picking it up and moving it from place to place if I ever need. But otherwise, as you can see, it rolls very easily, even on uneven ground like mine. The only 2 inconveniences I found is that the machining on that handle could be done better. Those edges are a little bit sharp, and when I was pulling the air jack, it's actually left red marks on my hand. The other thing, those air valves seems to be way too close to the handle. Personally, I have a small hand, but somebody with a bigger hand could potentially have a problem. That being said, I am probably nitpicking at this point, because so far everything I've seen about the air jack been pretty good. Anyway, let's move to the main test. Place the air jack under the truck and see if it will work with my pancake compressor. I really hope it will work out. Okay, moment of truth. Disappointing. It did lift it a little bit, but not fully, and that wheel is still not even in the air. I'm going to refill the air compressor again and give it another shot and see how it goes. Okay, air compressor filled up again. The air jack is still on. Let's give it that extra shot and see if it makes any difference. Okay, it's lifting it. Let's see how much. That's it. So the unfortunate conclusion is, even with second time using my compressor and adding more air to it, it still didn't lift up my truck all the way. The wheel is definitely in the air, just not as much as I would like it to be. I'm not going to try and give it a third shot of air. What I'm going to try instead, I'm going to lower my compressor all the way down and use that 4x4 and see if it's going to make any difference. It's actually barely fitting here. I was thinking if not 4x4, then I would use 6x6, but I think in my case at least, 4x4 is all I can do. Well, let's give it a try. Well, it did work. Let me show you. It's definitely out there. I can put my hand inside here. So, 4x4 works well. The other thing I guess I could do is to use my air jack underneath the rear differential. Just place it right in the middle, because the rear differential is much lower to the ground than the truck itself. So, not going to lie, I'm a little bit disappointed, but then again, what was I thinking? If you look at my air compressor right here, 3 gallon, and you look the air jack, you can clearly see volume, how much volume that compressor can hold and how much volume that air jack needs. It was not bound to work. That being said, I really came to like that air jack and will be using it with the workarounds I have found. The only thing is, I am not really trusting that air jack with my safety, same like I don't trust with my hydraulic jack. So I will be using my 6-ton jack stands like I've always done. Now, let's talk about the last test I was supposed to run and to see if the air jack will lose any air if it's left under the truck for 30 or 60 minutes. It's actually a second day I'm shooting that video. Yesterday I started to shoot it and my microphone battery decided to run out of juice. So I was very frustrated. I pumped the jack and left it under the truck until today morning. And to my surprise, when I came today, it actually didn't get any lower. It kept all the air. So as far as that goes, it is a solid jack. It's getting late and a little bit cold, so I better start walking home. But if you like the video, click like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. And I will talk to you very soon.